She sat alone at a round table meant for 8, the soft glow of wedding lights making the empty chairs feel even louder. Laughter floated across the room, glasses clinked, and music swelled, but none of it reached her heart. On the happiest day of her sister's life, she had never felt so invisible. What happened next wasn't part of the wedding plan. It wasn't loud or dramatic, but one quiet act of kindness from a stranger would change everything and remind everyone watching that kindness doesn't need permission to be powerful. Before we begin, if you enjoy heartfelt stories that restore faith in humanity, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. It helps the channel grow and keeps these stories coming. You're watching your channel name, and your support truly means the world. The wedding was held in a restored barn just outside a small town in Ohio. White flowers lined the wooden beams, and long strings of lights glowed warmly above the dance floor. It was beautiful, perfect even. At least, that's how it looked to everyone else. For Emily, it felt like walking into a memory she didn't belong in anymore. She was 29, wearing a navy blue dress shed bought last minute, hoping it would be appropriate. Her hair was pinned neatly, her makeup simple. She looked fine, no, she looked lovely. But the way people glanced at her, then quickly looked away, made her feel like an afterthought. Emily was the bride's older sister, but she wasn't part of the bridal party. She hadn't been included in the planning, and now, as guests found their seats, she realized she wasn't included in the seating arrangements either. A young usher smiled awkwardly and pointed her to a table near the edge of the room. "Right there, ma'am." She sat down, folding her hands in her lap, trying to ignore the fact that every other seat remained empty. Around her, families laughed, couples leaned close, and friends hugged. Her parents were at the head table, beaming. Her sister, glowing in white, didn't look her way once. Emily swallowed hard. This wasn't new. Ever since Emily's divorce 2 years earlier, things had changed. Her sister, Lily, had always been the golden one, outgoing, adored, seemingly untouched by life's rough edges. Emily, on the other hand, had gone through a quiet heartbreak that no one seemed to know how to talk about. So they didn't. As the first course was served, Emily pretended to check her phone. No messages, no missed calls. She took a slow breath and told herself she'd leave early. She didn't want to cry at her sister's wedding. That's when a small voice interrupted her thoughts. "Excuse me, miss?" Emily looked up to see a little boy standing beside her table. He couldn't have been more than 6. He had sandy hair, bright eyes, and a tie that was slightly crooked. "My dad says you can sit with us if you want," the boy said, pointing toward a nearby table. "He says no one should sit alone at a wedding." Emily froze. She followed the boy's finger and saw a man standing up halfway from his chair. He looked to be in his mid-30s, wearing a simple gray suit, no tie. He gave her a small, hopeful smile, one that didn't push, didn't pity. It just invited. "If that's okay," he said gently, "you can act like you're with me." Something in his tone broke through the wall Emily had built all evening. She nodded before she could talk herself out of it. "Yes," she said softly, "that would be really nice." As she stood up, she noticed a few heads turn. Maybe they were curious, maybe they were surprised, but for the first time that night, Emily didn't care. She walked over and took the empty seat beside him. The little boy climbed back into his chair, clearly proud of himself. "Im Ben," he announced. "That's my dad, Mark." "Im Emily," she said, smiling at them both. From that moment on, the evening shifted. Mark didn't ask why she'd been sitting alone. He didn't ask anything too personal at all. He simply talked about the weather, about how Ben had insisted on wearing that tie, about how weddings always made him cry, even when he tried not to. Emily laughed, a real laugh, one she hadn't felt in a long time. Ben showed her his coloring book. Mark shared how he'd been raising Ben on his own since his wife passed away 3 years earlier. He spoke calmly, without drama, but Emily could hear the love in his voice. "I wasn't sure about coming tonight," Mark admitted. But Ben wanted to see people dance. As the music picked up, Ben tugged on Emily's hand. "Will you dance with me?" She hesitated, then looked at Mark. "If you don't mind," she said. "I'd be honored," he replied. Out on the dance floor, Emily spun with Ben, his laughter ringing out as clear as the music. She felt lighter, seen, like she belonged. She didn't notice her sister watching from across the room until Lily approached her during a slow song. "Emily," Lily said, her voice tight, "I didn't realize you were sitting alone." Emily met her eyes calmly. "I was, but it's okay now." Lily glanced at Mark and Ben, then back at Emily. For a moment, something unreadable crossed her face, guilt, maybe, or regret. "I'm glad," Lily said quietly. "You look happy." "I am," Emily answered honestly. The rest of the night passed in a blur of warmth. Emily stayed until the end. She helped Mark chase Ben around the dance floor. She clapped during the speeches. She felt like part of something again. When it was time to leave, Mark walked her to her car. "I'm really glad you sat with us," he said. "You didn't have to." "I know," Emily replied. "But I'm really glad you asked." They exchanged numbers, not with expectations, just with gratitude. In the weeks that followed, they texted occasionally. Coffee turned into walks at the park. Walks turned into dinners. Ben insisted Emily sit next to him every time. Emily didn't just gain a friend that night. She gained a reminder that kindness can arrive quietly, through a simple sentence spoken at the right time. No one should sit alone at a wedding. Months later, Emily would look back on that night, not as the moment she was excluded, but as the moment someone chose her. And that choice made all the difference. Because kindness doesn't fix everything at once. It doesn't erase pain or rewrite the past, but it opens a door. It pulls up a chair. It says, "You matter." And sometimes, that's all a heart needs to start healing. So if you ever see someone sitting alone at a wedding, a party, or in life, remember this story. Sit with them. Invite them in. Act like they're with you. You never know how much your kindness might mean.